welcome back to my channel, Healing with Kearra. So today we're doing a pick a card, looking into Are You on Their Mind? And we're going to use the Alleyman's Tarot. So if you're familiar with the deck, it's pretty big, and the version of it that I acquired also had a booster pack from the gentleman who put the whole thing kind of together and made it accessible. I believe his name is Seven. Anyways, so there's a lot of cards. So I divided it into 3 piles here. I just shuffled it and randomly cut it into 3 piles, and yeah, pick these little stones to go with it. So pile 1, I'm sorry, I'm gonna actually have my water bottle blocking our light. So pile 1. Oh, nope, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm confusing people. That's why I flipped it in the last video. If you noticed, the last video I flipped it from the way I had it in the photos so that I wouldn't get confused. But then I realized when I was watching the video that when you guys are watching, it still makes more sense to go this way on screen. So I'm going to try to be very consistent with my videos and not confusing about how to choose the piles. So, oh my gosh, sorry. Anyways, this is pile 1. This white stone on the this one here, and then we have pile 2. It's a black stone. They're little tiny, so I'm not sure how well you can really even see them on the screen. With this card here, and then pile 3. This is pile 3. This pink and white little guy here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start with yeah, and all of my timestamps will always be in the description as well. I just want to say that. So we're going to start with pile 1. This is the white stone with this card here. So we're looking into Are You on Their Mind? So I'm going to get a card for your person, person on your mind, and then maybe one more card to get context for what the situation is or what's happened, and then I'll pull like 1 to 3 cards, depending on how I feel, to see if you're on their mind. Okay. Ooh, wow. So we have the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Um, and there's this energy of this book here looks like it's glowing, and so does her sword. And then there's like this crown here, and then a skull. So what I'm getting is it's like, yeah, overcoming the emotions of the past, or using like what didn't work out or what fell apart to kind of like as a tool to study and reflect here. And it's like kind of putting your personal feelings to the side and trying to kind of logically look at the situation and understand what happened here, like from a higher perspective, or try to work through it and sort through it, like intellectually, and put your emotions or your ego to the side in some way. It's like recognizing that like something or some way didn't work out in the past. And so it's like, yeah, like an ego death here in regards to like the way that someone feels, and just like using that information to like study and reflect and like learn something here. I'm seeing this like moth or butterfly energy, so it's like using that to like learn or grow or transform into something new here, now that they've been able to like gain perspective on their feelings, or like put their feelings to the side or put their ego to the side in some way. They can like actually look at the situation with clarity here, and use it to like grow, to gain wisdom, see things from a higher perspective, like I said, like allow things to transform into something new, to like let go of the emotions they were clinging on to in regards to the past. It's like letting some, yeah, letting like the lessons they've learned here like carry you forward. So your person, we have the Ace of Discs. With this energy though, I'm getting like the way this tiger is kind of like yelling, and then there's a handout. It's like this kind of like entitled person, like someone who felt entitled to an opportunity here. Um, and then we have the Three of Books in reverse for like what happened here or the situation. So with this card, it's this energy of one person is like coming in and teaching another about something that they actually don't know very much about, and the person that they're trying to teach um, does or is actually well educated. So it's like preaching to the choir in like a condescending way. It's like trying to teach, or it's like thinking that you know best or you have the right way whenever you're actually less developed. And the other, it's like you yourself actually can't even see like how intelligent the other party is, so you don't even realize like they already like they don't need this teaching. It's like you actually need to learn more or study more. So yeah, you're the person on your mind, or the person that you're thinking about, could have just had this very like entitled attitude. They could have felt like they knew more about something than they really did, so they kind of had their hand out, or like expected people to kind of like respect them or like give to them, or they felt entitled to certain opportunities because they felt like they um, knew best, or like they had done everything the right way here, and so they were the ones that were like deserving. It's like they just like expected it to be them, or to be like the ones that were chosen. They just felt like they knew best here, like because of their journey that they had been on, like they just expected to be the ones that were chosen, but they couldn't see that there was actually like they weren't actually ready for it, or they needed to grow more here in some way, or whoever they felt like entitled to get like an opportunity over it had actually put in like more time or work, or like studied more. um or there was like another party who was like more humble because they actually had like the knowledge they could actually walk the walk, like to back it up. So they just like acted with a little bit more integrity. They weren't so just like, well, yeah, with this person, it's this energy of just like, it's mine, mine now. Like they just feel like they earned it or they deserved it, but they can't really see that they like actually haven't studied as much, or they're not as like well versed, or they don't know as much about something as they think, and so they're not actually maybe the ones that got like chosen or selected for something, but they were really like they felt very entitled to it, or yeah, they felt like they deserved some opportunity, or they had some sort of kind of like snippy, they could have been like kind of aggressive in the way that like they yeah, a little bit demanding kind of. I'm also getting if they saw other people like headed towards a new opportunity, um, they kind of felt like those other people needed to kind of like hear them or take their advice, or um, take their help in some way. But then they couldn't see that these other people actually knew. So those other people could have been you, or someone else here, where it's like they actually knew more about the situation and they didn't really need this person's help, but this your person tried to kind of like force it, um not realizing that they were the ones that actually knew less about the situation. But again, it's like because they knew less about it, they couldn't even see the ways in which this other party were actually a lot more well versed, and so it's like they didn't really need um this other person's help, or this other person to like step in and um like put their hand in the situation, or kind of like force their way here, or it's like in order to like be successful in a new opportunity, they didn't really need like someone's advice or someone's help. They didn't need someone to like try and like butt in or insert themselves in the situation in some way, because they actually knew what they were talking about, or they have, yeah, like they were fully equipped, like they had went on their path and studied and done all of the things that they needed to do, and so that's why they were being given this opportunity. But then there was like another, your person was in this energy of just like feeling like um they actually needed to kind of like step in, and like they knew more, they knew better, and they needed to like, yeah, step in and give a hand here in some way. But it was very forceful, like, yeah, if they tried to offer a hand or help or do something, it was very forceful. But then there was also something that they were kind of like expecting to get, or they were like felt entitled to some sort of opportunity. There's also this like having their handout energy and just kind of like expecting people to give to them. So then, okay, so because they have that energy of like expecting people to give to them, when they saw an opportunity actually going to someone else, maybe got really angry here and kind of lashed out because they felt like it should be them, or they know more about this, or then they became kind of controlling and started to like project on this other person and like control the way they were going about things. And yeah, like just kind of like tell the other person what to do, or like control the way that certain things are happening, or um yeah, because they expected it to go to them. Like there's this energy of like having their hand out and expecting like to be blessed. It's like they think they felt as though they were like to this certain level of their journey, or like it was their time, and they were like, if it yeah, they weren't able to see how other people were actually farther along, or maybe it made them feel uncomfortable that other people were actually farther along. So then they projected and tried to make those other people feel like they needed their advice, or like they needed them in some way, because they felt insecure about the ways that they had, yeah, like with this handout, like they could have felt insecure that they actually were the ones that didn't know enough or needed some advice, or like needed to go more on their journey in order to get an opportunity, or it's like they needed to grow here in some ways. And so they like kind of like lashed out and like projected it onto another person and made the other person feel like this person actually knew more and they needed to be listening to them, when in reality it's like they're not um, even anywhere near where that person is, and that person's actually ready for their own opportunity, and your person can see that, and that's why they were projecting onto them. So this could have been like you. This could be um like a family situation or a friend situation here, or a work situation. Yeah, something like that. I'm not necessarily getting tons of I mean, it could be like a romantic partnership here too. Like one, if it is like a romantic partnership, it could be like you guys are in similar work fields and they really wanted like a certain promotion, and then you ended up actually getting like a cool opportunity in your area of work, and then it made them feel really insecure because they just felt like kind of like entitled, or like it was their time or it was going to come to them. So then they started projecting onto you, and trying to kind of like overly coach you or teach you or like tell you all this stuff that you really don't need to know, or like act like they know so much about what you're doing whenever really they need to like study more or like figure out more about like their own stuff. And so um it's like yeah, they don't really know what they're talking about. They don't really have like a better way. It's like you're doing just fine on your own. Obviously you got some sort of opportunity here, but they're trying to make you feel like you need their advice or their help, because they're like projecting because they felt like they should have been the one to get some sort of opportunity in their life, but they're not actually as far along in whatever endeavor it is or career or whatever it is than they really think. So they're like projecting onto you. So like yeah, that could be like a family member, like sibling type of thing. Like one sibling feels like, they did everything right in life, and they took all the proper steps and da 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 da, and so like they should be getting all these opportunities, or like they have their hand out expecting people to kind of like help them out along the way. And then yeah, you've actually just like humbly put in a lot of time and work here to like really study and like hone in on your craft in some way, and so you've got like a big opportunity, or um something was like given to you here, and then this other person feels like really insecure and is like um, they felt like kind of entitled, or like that should have been them for some reason, so they either like lashed out or they like are projecting onto you to try to make you feel like you need their help or their advice um, in some way. But it's really like it's really this insecurity of like they want to be able to go with you, but like they're trying to make you feel like they actually know best or they know more, or you need to kind of like conform to their way. But it's like you're just kind of like sitting back, like, okay, I have actually like been studying this for longer than you have, or like actually know more about this, and you're just making that more obvious right now. Or it's like for you, you're like, okay, I don't really need this. I don't really need to hear this. Or like, this isn't really a lesson I need to learn, or like, this isn't really something I need to go through. Or for you, you're just kind of like, yeah, it's like I said before, it's like this preaching to the choir, but it's like coming across in this really like condescending way. So like, yeah, this person could be just like their ego could be really bruised by something here. So they're like lashing out, or they don't want to deal with the fact that like they actually don't know everything. They don't actually have all the answers. They actually need to do a little bit more like soul searching and studying, and like um opening their mind to like the ways in which other people are doing things too, and realizing there's not just like one way to do it. They don't just like have it all figured out, because if they did, then obviously um they wouldn't be like lashing out just like expecting some sort of opportunity or handout. They would be um like everything would be like different here, but it's not, so they're having to kind of like force it here, or like yeah, do something in this like really condescending way. It's like because they can't force something in their own life, then they need to like project it onto another party here, which could be you, by then like making you feel like you need them, or you need them to like teach you something, or um, they're trying to make you see them as like this authority figure. Interesting. So let's look at if, so yeah, that could have been what went wrong, is like, or the reason why there could be distance, or you could be not talking, is like because you know like where you're at and the work that you've done, and um that you're so much farther along than this, and so you're not like willing to like look at this person as, or you're not willing to look at them as an authority figure, or you don't need them in order to be successful here, to start something off like on your own. Like you know that you put in the time and work, and you have the information and a like know-how within yourself to be really successful here. It's like you don't need this um teaching or handout, or like, yeah, you don't need them to come along with you here in order to be able to be successful in like a new endeavor, and be able to really take something off the ground, and um, create like a solid, stable, I'm hearing like income or revenue, or just like project. So as far as are they thinking about you, we have the Masterless Knight. So this card is all about you can't, you, it's like, okay, basically you're not supposed to know. So I'm glad I got multiple cards and not just three, but basically you're not supposed to know. It's like it's the answer, or the whatever it is like choosing to remain like blank or hidden, like with the key, like hanging on to the key. It's like keeping the information sealed or secret, or so yeah, if you are on their mind, it's like they don't want you to know, or they don't want to give any clues or indications of this. But I'm getting that, so like with all of this darkness and then looking into the light here, it's like I think that they are trying to like keep this concealed or hidden or secret here. They're trying to be really low key, like they don't want you to catch on at all. But I am already getting like, yes, they are thinking about you. And it's like, even though they're trying their best to hide it here or make it to where you can't tell, um, it's like you can kind of, whenever they are like, with this book here, like when they're actually like reflecting into like what went wrong here, and starting to think about and like understand here, like the divine is helping them to understand here, like exactly where they kind of like went wrong, or where they could have created like the separation here. It's like when they're having these moments of understanding here, or moments of clarity, you can sense, like you can feel that, um, yeah, you can feel this, like, or in all the darkness and the stillness, you can feel the light turning on in these certain areas, right? Like you can sense kind of like what's going on here. And so they're doing their best to like hide it and keep it a secret, and make it just like completely not known at all. um, if they are thinking about you, or how they feel, or what they would be thinking about. But I'm getting they are doing a lot of reflecting and having a lot of revelations, or like getting a lot of downloads. But they're just like, yeah, they're trying to keep it really concealed. They could even be hiding this from like all the people around them. Like they're not even telling people around them how much they're like focusing on this. It's not even just thinking about it though. It's like studying here and reflecting, like looking into the past, and like trying to figure out like where things went wrong, or like where, like I said, where they caused a separation, or where they created conflict. It's like deep down they are secretly being like, like a lot of self-reflection here. Like I was saying, it's like an ego death, like kind of putting their feelings to the side, and trying to look at the situation from like a logical, practical standpoint, and see like, okay, well, where did I like cause this to, where did I cut this person off, and without meaning to, or like where did I actually create the separation here. It's like they're trying to learn and like study here and open up a little bit. um but they don't want to like reveal that. They're not ready for like anyone to see that or know that. um People around them just see this like kind of defensive, protective energy that's around them, or like, yeah, maybe people around them are like afraid to bring this up or to question them because they don't want this other person to like lash out or freak out, or they don't want to get hurt for some reason. So um a lot of people are just like avoiding the subject, or people are just not making them talk about it. Like it's just kind of going, yeah, it's like this blank space here where everyone is kind of just like wondering where they're at with it. They don't want really anyone to know, but they are actually kind of in this reflective state here of like looking at things and trying to think about and like, yeah, ask for guidance here about like and clarity about like what really happened here and like the part that they played in it and stuff. So we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse and Death in the reverse. So this way, it's like, this person is like has this like sand, and then it looks like there's like an eagle coming out of it. So what I'm getting from this is this could be like the ashes of something that like was burned away here, and then this is like what's being reborn. So it's like whenever the Grim Reaper comes and takes a soul, it's like it gives back as well, or there's like a rebirth from it, or sometimes the things that are like taken from us, then something new is reborn in its place, or like this wisdom is reborn. Um, we're reborn, like wiser here. So it's in the reverse. So right now, this person, yeah, even if they are thinking about you, it's like they don't want you to know. Even if you are on their mind, it's like one, they don't want you or anyone to know, and then two, it's like they're resisting. They are starting to look at this here. Like I feel like they're starting to get certain downloads, and so they're starting to like look at things here. But they're also like, with this, I'm also getting like there is like some walls up still, like a little bit of stubbornness. And they haven't fully taken the wisdom out of the situation that they need to in order to be able to move forward out of it, or they haven't fully gained the clarity that they need to in order to have like a breakthrough, or to like make a change here, or to turn things around. They're still in this energy of like they're in the process of their ego death, but they're still in this energy of like not really wanting you to know, or like not wanting anyone to know if they're thinking about it or if it's on their mind. They don't want to be vulnerable. So yeah, they there could just be a lot of energy of like not fully wanting to, like they're just starting to look at it, but they don't fully want to like admit that they were wrong in some way, or yeah, they can't like fully let things go and see the way that they see it in the light that they need to see it in order to be able to fully release it here. It's like they need this like full clarity of the situation to understand truly like the ways in which they were like coming across, or just I'm hearing like just being like really pushy, or kind of like entitled here, or yeah, it just came across like aggressive or abrasive. Like it just it didn't work out here. But yeah, it's like there's some ego in not wanting to admit that like they didn't really know as much as the person that they were trying to like teach something to, or they're not actually quite as far along as this other person. So yeah, it could be like a sibling. sometimes we have weird dynamics with like our younger siblings, like because they're younger than us, like they spend less time like in our adult years with us, and so sometimes they don't see the actual time that we put in and like spend doing things or like uh learning things or advancing in certain ways in our lives. And so then yeah, they can still have that like perception of us from when we were younger, and then they can only see like the ways they've grown and learned in their lives, and then they kind of like come to you and feel as though they need to like teach all of that to you, and you're like, okay, well, I'm like 8 years older than you, so thank you. But um one time my younger brother came to me when he was like probably like 10 years old, and he had just I'm just feeling called to tell this story, but he had just learned how to make eggs recently at that time. He was just the type of kid that like really wanted to learn stuff on his own and like do stuff on his own and be really independent. So he wanted to like make his own toast and fold his own clothes and like just whatever little stuff. And then my other little brother is like the exact opposite. So it's so funny how you're like you just have your personality like so young. It's so cute. So yeah, even from the time he was like so little, he would just like want to help us with stuff and just do like he would do like gardening stuff. Like he just loves like yeah. I think that's kind of typical of like the oldest. Um, Sometimes because there's like a really big age gap, and so he's like the oldest of their little generation. So I think a lot of times us oldest are like that, like we're really independent. But anyways, so he was really motivated. He really wanted to learn how to make his own breakfast. So my stepmom taught him, how to make his toast in the morning and how to make his eggs. And so he figured out like a way to make them that he really liked. And I don't really like eggs that much, so I don't really make them that often. So he like never really saw me in the kitchen making myself an egg. So I'm not sure if he just assumed that I didn't know how to make them or um, I think it's just a totally normal thing when you're young and you're first learning stuff. You just get really excited and you want to teach other people and you kind of forget like sometimes they're a little bit older and they already know. And so it's important to always stay teachable or to remain open, but then sometimes someone really does genuinely try to teach you something that you just like already know. So yeah, this story I guess is like a good example of stuff like that. Um but yeah, kids are so awesome. Like they can always teach you something new. Like my little brothers would always teach me like like some new perspective or say something in a way that I would be like, wow, that's so cool. But obviously them being so much younger than me, like there's just some things that I've already been doing that for so long that I really don't need them to teach me that, right? So yeah, when he learned how to make eggs, he was just so excited. He spent There was like one morning and he was like, oh my gosh, I want to teach you how to make eggs. And just obviously because he's so young, I really wanted to build him up and like build up his confidence and make him feel really proud of himself. So I totally let him teach me like how to make eggs. And in this case, it's not like a good example, I guess, because it's not like it wasn't like condescending or anything. It was just really sweet. He just really wanted to teach me how to make eggs. But um, I was 14 years old when he was born, so I'm a lot older than him. So there's just a huge age gap. So it's like we didn't learn things together in life. We didn't go through certain phases of learning things together. So it's hard for him as a younger person to have as much perspective to see all the things that I can see in my life, right? And so um, sometimes yeah, that we have like those interesting dynamics. So yeah, in this case I just like let him teach me how to make eggs and I was like, that's so cool, buddy, that's so awesome. But obviously I already knew, but he went like so in depth with it and was like, okay, and like each step he was like so I was like, this is really cute. Like um But yeah, there are other times where maybe once we get a little bit older, where that can come across, that same scenario with my little brother, like say in 5 years when he's, like 17, and I'm like 31, I think. Uh, and he's just becoming an adult, and he may come to me and try and teach me something that I have been doing for like a whole decade, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, um anyways, yeah, I hope that gives like a good example of what I'm trying to talk about, because it is important to always remain open and coachable and teachable and like open to learn new things, even if you think you know a lot about a subject. But then, yeah, there are those times where it's like someone comes in and it's like they genuinely don't know more. They don't know what they're talking about. Like they think they have this better way of doing things, and they need to like teach others and like conform everyone else to like their way, if you will. And yeah, sometimes you can be kind of like aggressive about it, and it's like, oh, you need my help, like you need to do things my way. And it's like actually not being able to see the other party is actually quite farther along than them. But if you have less like actual practical life experience in a certain field or a certain area, or just life experience in general, then you wouldn't be able to see the ways in which the other person is actually maybe more emotionally or socially developed than you, or maybe you like did a lot of work, or you did certain things, or one person like earned some sort of degree or whatever, but then the other party has like uh yeah, that's another thing I'm hearing is like, yeah, sometimes like the younger generation or younger kids will like go to college and then learn in college about certain things, and then they'll come back and be like really um argumentative with their like older family members that actually have like decades of life experience in the world and understand things. So yeah, sometimes learning through a book doesn't actually give you perspective. Or another scenario I'm hearing is like one time I had a job in like the little mountain town that I'm from, and yeah, like waitressing there is so different just because it's the mountains. If you've ever lived in the mountains in like a tourist town, it's nothing like the city. So the gentleman that like owned the place was from a lot of different cities, and he had managed restaurants based off of like numbers and performance. And I would kind of, yeah, he was just very like, I'm the boss and we're going to do it my way. And I would try to explain to him like, hey, I'm from here and I have a lot of experience in this, and I can tell you like the way you want to plan your shifts is like you want to accommodate to these mountain people's like routine and schedule, and the weather and tourists, and otherwise you're going to lose a lot of money, right? And he was like not really willing to listen to me at all, and so I was like, okay, I just kind of had to go my own way. And then he ended up closing the restaurant within 6 months, and it was like, well, you should have listened to a local. But anyways, so yeah, there's like I hope those scenarios can kind of like give you an idea of what I was trying to explain. It's like sometimes, yeah, like with my boss, just because he would try and be like, I've done this in, uh, he would list off all the different like chain restaurants that he had made so successful and like opened multiple restaurants. And it was just like, okay, well, um, those were not in the mountains, right? In the really small town. Um, this is not like that. This is a town where we don't even have a single chain restaurant here. Like that's not going to work. Or just the logic that he was trying to apply to it that maybe works like in a city of just like solely looking at the numbers and performance and things like that, and basing everything off of the numbers. It was just like um, that type of management style of just being like so by the book was just like not going to work, right? And so he was, all of us employees, a lot of us were actually locals. And so we would, no matter what we were trying to say, it was like this person being an outsider, not from the area, um, was really like uninterested in, uh, you know, listening to. Uh, the perspective that we had, right? And it was actually we actually had a lot more knowledge about like the area and how businesses could be successful. I worked in one of the most successful businesses in the area for almost 7 years, and so it was like, just one of those things. So yeah, I'm getting something very similar here. It's like something very similar to that. Where yeah, like this other party just felt like entitled, like they just felt like very entitled to, um, or they felt like, oh, I know what I'm talking about, or I've worked so hard to get here, I studied so much, or they just felt like they were naturally going to be uh, successful, and the other people were going to like need to like listen to them and accommodate to them in some way, and they were like not really actually seeing where the other party really was in their life. So yeah, you could be the other party, or um, you could have had to like choose someone else over them because they actually weren't quite as equipped as that party. So um, yeah, you could be like a third party here, and then there's like another person that actually knew more, or was like more well versed, or like actually ended up getting the opportunity. Like yeah, like you chose someone else for the opportunity, or you were chosen for an opportunity in some way. um so we have power. So yeah, this card says it's like time to reclaim your power in any ways that it may be given or taken away here. So it's like a balancing of power. So yeah, this person could have just been like insecure about where they really were, and so they needed to kind of like gain a sense of power over you in order to feel more secure um, about where they're at. But yeah, now it's like um, again, to answer the are you on their mind, it's like they don't want to reveal this, or they don't want to reveal to anyone the ways in which they're starting to understand like where they went wrong here. There's certain things they're still resisting, and so they don't want to open up and like share this with anyone or let on to anyone, um, like what's really going on here. But you can sense it, like you can feel it. It's like your brain kind of lights up and you can sense, um, yeah, it's like a moth to a flame. Like you can feel there's like a light on somewhere. Like you can like sense them thinking about you, and but then you could be kind of confused and wondering if they really are, because there's like no, they're giving absolutely no indication in um the 3D, if you will, that they are, right? They're just keeping it totally to themselves, or totally concealed or hidden in some way. Um yeah, even like the people around them can't really tell. It's like totally this, it's like they only really self-reflect whenever they're like totally in private, and they think that like no one can see them or like what's really going on. That could be a reason why they're lacking some sort of clarity here. They're like not able to, they're like not quite able to attain like the clarity that they need to really be able to like get the wisdom out of the situation to be able to release this and like move forward. So they're kind of like worried about what other people think, or worried about like other people seeing them like vulnerable, or knowing that other people knowing that they like made a mistake or miscalculated or messed up here. So yeah, they're still hanging on to their ego a little bit as they go through this like ego death type of a deal. So we have air and knowledge. So I'm going to read both of those for you. Logic, critical thinking, facts, information, research, and reasoning are required at this time. You may also need more information before proceeding. Drawing this card asks you to call on the element of air to help you in finding healthy resolutions. Meditate with this symbol to call on more of the air element in your life. Enhance logical thought and inspire new ideas. Use incense, channel writing, and journaling to enhance the power of this element. And we have knowledge. Remain teachable. There is new wisdom available to you at this time. This card can signify getting more information before proceeding. It can also signify the presence of an important teacher, or perhaps you are the teacher, and it is time to share your knowledge and gifts with the world around you. Drawing this card can also indicate a message from your Ashtic records. Seek out more information about the records, or even perhaps learn how to access your own records for more clarity. Meditate on this. To learn new things or to draw the correct teachers into your life. So yeah, what I'm really getting here is there's more to the story than they're revealing here. So yeah, it's like think critically, like it was saying, like use your logic and think critically here. And it's like whatever you see on paper, if your intuition is telling you like there's more to it or there's more that you're not seeing, it's like go with that. You're very smart, and it's like whatever you're feeling or whatever you're sensing about the situation is correct, even if you can't see the full picture here. Um, yeah, go with your gut, right? Go with like what's clear to you and what makes sense to you and what makes you feel good. Because it's like you already know that you're not going to be able to see everything that's going on here. So it's like you have to kind of use the information that is available to you, use the logic and reasoning that you can uh, draw from the information that is available to you to make like the best decision about how to move forward with the situation um, for you, right? Let's also get one of these tea cards here. Ooh, so we have standing your ground, ready for battle, defending yourself in the reverse. Oh my gosh. Knowing they effed up. So yeah, this person is like in the process of coming out of this really defensive energy of just yeah, fronting with their ego and feeling like they need to be the ones to defend themselves first. Um, so that you won't be able to like get the upper hand or like know that they're like in the wrong. Um, yeah, like they knew they'd made mistakes and they didn't want to be like accountable or called out fully. So then they were just like really defensive and projected onto you. Like you were the one that needed to defend yourself or you were the one that had done something wrong. But that was like not working for them, obviously. And so, um, yeah, deep down they know that they did mess up here. And like when they think about you, it's like they are starting to get this clarity of like where they went wrong, what they did wrong, how they caused the separation with the sword. Um, but they're not revealing any of that at this time with the masterless knight. They don't want anyone to know this, not even you, not anyone around them. They just like really want to keep this concealed to themselves pretty much. So yeah, that's all I have for pile 1. The first third of the Alleyman's Tarot. Okay, so this was number 2 with the black stone here. We're looking into, are you on their mind? Okay, that's your person. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so it's your person and like what happened here, and then are you on their mind over here? Ooh, we have the 10 of Swords. So, oh my gosh. Ooh, and then the 5 of Wands underneath that. So it's like something wasn't moving forward. There wasn't progress. You weren't able to get up to develop into the next phase or to get up off the ground out of something here. You were like stuck in the fire of something instead of able to like move forward or move up into a healthier position. I was like stuck. Uh, being burned here. Um, yeah, like with the way that this is, it's like everything was like all interlocked and like jammed up, and everything was like all messed up. And so it pushed it to a place of something having to be cut off here. Something just had to be cut out. It was like the final straw. There had to be some sort of a change. Yeah, something or someone had to get cut off. It was like the end of something here. Um, yeah, however, everything was like all jammed up in itself. It's like now this person is uh, like in ruin in the same way, or like jammed up in the same way here. Yeah. So with your person, we have the Hanged Man. So it's like they're in this energy of just like surrendering here to whatever happened, or um with the cat, it's like they're honestly kind of at peace here. They're just like, yeah, it's like they feel like this is my bed, well, I'll lie in it. And they're kind of just like okay with it. They're just kind of like, yeah, like I said, surrendering to it here. Um, with the Four of Swords, so that very energy could have been also like what went wrong here, or what caused like a separation, or for things to fall apart, or for you to have to like, okay, it was in such stagnation here, like there was no progress forward. You weren't able to get up into the next level, or to like move into a healthier phase. It's like you weren't able to move forward at all, or to like progress at all. Like everything just stayed really stagnant and really stuck. So if you were in this like toxic competitive energy with each other, like you just stayed there, you never progressed, or like got out of that, you never felt like you were free of like this person's games, or like they're competing with you in some way, or so it's like finally you just had to like cut them off, or cut someone out, or it's like it was like the final straw here. It's like this person was like done here, you're like you're done, it's no more. um so yeah, they could have just been yeah, whatever all that was, it's like they were just staying complicit. They were like choosing not to make a change, or choosing not to do anything about it. So it's like you finally just had to cut them off here, or just like get rid of them, because they were just like, whatever was going on here that was like not working out, or whatever was keeping you guys stuck, they were choosing not to do anything about it, choosing not to make any sort of a change. Like I said, just staying totally complicit. And then now that you like cut them off or cut them out here, they're just like surrendering to it. Like they're just like okay, like they're just like okay with it. They're like, well, this is a circumstance I created for myself, so I may as well not stress out, and just like surrender to this in some way. So that could be frustrating to hear, because I'm getting that it's like that was what was so frustrating in the first place. You guys were so stuck. It wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't progressing. They weren't doing anything. They didn't seem to care. Like they were just like do 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 do, like mindless in their own little world, unbothered if this was affecting them at all. It's like they were just so unbothered by this, and so it like pushed you to be like, okay, I got it. Maybe you thought by cutting this person off too would be like some sort of reality check or wake up call, or that it would really affect them. And it did, right? It like created a lot of damage here, but it's like they're just choosing to surrender to it. Like they're just in this energy of like, well, there's nothing I can do about it right now, or um, they just feel like they have to just like let it be what it is, and just like relax, and just like let the divine take care of it or something. It's like they're trusting that like God is like watching over them or protecting them, or it's like this is, they're just choosing to have this attitude of like, okay, well then if that's how it went, then this is how it's meant to be. Um, just like I'm just gonna relax and not stress out about it, basically. So we have the Ten of Eyes in the reverse, the Six of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So they're trying not to think about you. They're trying really, really hard not to think about you. When they do think about you, it's more of like they're nostalgic towards, they spend a lot of time thinking about like the past, and like how you guys were intimate towards each other. Um, with the Six of Cups here, they definitely spend time thinking about, it's like okay, they really, really try not to think about you here. They really try to just like I said, relax, and just trust that like the universe is going to take care of it. They're really trying not to overly stress out about it or overly focus on it or obsess over it. But then whenever they do let themselves think about it, it's like more of the intimate memories or the intimate moments or like how you made them feel in a certain type of way. And they feel very like nostalgic towards that. Or they think about like innocent, fun times where you guys were like playing together and like having fun together, regardless of like if there was any heaviness around you. It's like you still found a way to like have a good time, enjoy each other, entertain each other, like play and have fun together. You brought out like the childlike part of them. It's where, yeah, like that carefree childlike self within them where they could just like play and have fun. And they do sometimes let themselves think about that, and I feel like deep down they do miss that. um but they really, really try not to think about it, because when they let themselves think about it, it's like they just kind of like melt into a puddle. um if they let themselves think about it, then they'll like totally put their guard down and like not protect themselves here, and it makes them feel too vulnerable, and so they try to like shut it out and not really think about it. But if they do let themselves think about it, or they do let any sort of thoughts wander or creep in there, they try and keep it more lighthearted and focus more on like sexual or intimate memories or times where you just like had fun together, rather than like really truly allowing themselves to like go there and really think about it, because then they just kind of like melt into a puddle of their emotions. And like I said, they've become really, really vulnerable, because then it's like they can't protect themselves as much here. But this did really affect them, like when you cut them off. But yeah, they only really let themselves think about like you in an exciting way, or the ways that you have excited them in the past, or each other, or ways they excited you, or ways that they you could excite each other in the future. Or but they still just have this like surrender, nonchalant, however they were in the past, of just like kind of letting things be. um like I said, being kind of complicit, like they're still in that. They're very just nonchalant, chilling. Definitely trying to keep their mind off of things here. Oh, too many spirit. We have protection. So yeah, this card is like all about is like you are being protected by the divine, and anything like any areas or ways where you're trying to move forward in your life. You are being protected here by the divine, or like anything that hasn't worked out in your life, again, you're being protected here by the divine. And we have past life. So I'm going to read that for you. You are being drawn to sacred spaces, ancient knowledge, past lives, ancient wisdom, and holy gifts. The connection to your current relationship or situation has deep roots and is perhaps much more than you may have anticipated. Dive into ancient wisdom for your answers at this time. Drawing this card can indicate past life connection, karmic contracts, vows, commitments, or even feelings of atonement. Draw another card if additional clarity or direction in how to proceed is required. You can meditate with the pyramid to access ancient magic, create sacred space, welcome informative galactic downloads from the universe, and encourage ascension from your body, mind, and spirit. Yeah, let's draw one more card, like I said. Oh my gosh. I was thinking about just reading this one, the bottom of the deck, But I was like, well, if it's meant to be, it will come out. So that is so funny. But then we have friendship at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, like new like friendships and partnerships could be coming in for you at this time as you release, as you allow like spirit to protect you and like release, things from the past that are no longer working for you. It's like you could move into um some like new connections here, new like soulmate type friendships and connections here. You are protected. You are safe in all matters of the body, mind, and spirit. Your highest guidance has you covered on all fronts. Do not delay in moving forward. If inquiring about a relationship, situation, or how to proceed, please take this sign as that you are taken care of and harm to none will be had. Meditate on this symbol when you feel like you need to strengthen your energy. So yeah, if there's like new things coming to you, you could be having a hard time like processing this karma out of your life here. Even though you had to kind of cut that old situation off. So yeah, trust that the divine is like always has your back and has your highest intentions, and you're always protected in everything that you're trying to do. Let's get one T card here. Protect yourself, needing to keep yourself safe. Wow, you cannot. Then we have toxic, poison underneath that. Oh my goodness, you cannot make this stuff up, y'all. So yeah, this pile, definitely watch your back here. Watching the ish go down, enjoying the gossip. Very interesting. Um, yeah, you could definitely be moving forward out of something you had to definitely heavily protect yourself from, and Spirit has a plan of like a new direction for you to go in. And so once you um are able to do this, it's like this energy in the past could end up kind of starting a lot of drama or creating a lot of drama. So that could have been like what spirit was protecting you from, is like these people's energy here. And it was like allowing you to safely move forward out of this situation. And now you're going to look back on it and just kind of like watch it all go down and watch it all pop off and just be like, okay, yep, I was right. My intuition about that was correct. That was definitely not safe for me, or that was not good. It's like once you get out of this, you're going to look back and have a different perspective and be like, oh my gosh, like you're going to see it for like the mess that it is, or like how messy it really is. And yeah, have this different perspective of like so thankful that you're like an outsider or like an onlooker into the situation, and not like this isn't actually affecting you, or like whatever's going on here isn't actually yeah, it's like not spilling over into your life or like bringing you down or affecting you at all. It's like you just get to like watch it all go down from a distance and just kind of like enjoy it, or just enjoy that it doesn't affect you. Like you still get to enjoy your life and it doesn't take from you at all. So yeah, they are really, really trying not to think about you. To answer the are you on their mind? Like I was saying, they're really trying not to, because when they do allow themselves to, it's like they just kind of melt into this emotional puddle, and then they don't have any reserves, or they don't have any way to kind of like stand their ground, or they feel like they're too vulnerable and they can't protect themselves. And so um, they only really let themselves think about you in like a more sexual or intimate way, or like your fun times together where you were just like being kids playing together. Um, yeah, like they only allow themselves to associate you with like their childlike self, which then creates a lot of nostalgia too, and a lot of like really, really missing you. But then it's like they don't let themselves acknowledge that, or yeah, truly see and, like I said, acknowledge fully that they do actually miss you, which is creating this like weird, like festering cycle of like overwhelming feelings here. But they're just right now, they're just choosing not to do anything about it at all. They're just, like I said, they feel like this is the bed that they made, and so now they're gonna lie on it and like let spirit handle it or take care of it or something. So yeah, that is what I have for pile 2. Oh, sorry, I was gonna put it right there, but oh well. Okay, pile 3, this pink and white. That was this green card. So we'll look at like the person on your mind here and like what happened, like what created the situation, why you guys are not really talking or communicating, and then 1 to 3 cards looking into whether you are on their mind or not. Okay, that's your person. Okay, the situation. So we have the Hierophant right away. It's coming out. They already flipped out for whether or not, or are you on their mind? So yeah, this is the good Hierophant in this deck. So it's like in this card, it's like spirit is kind of like putting certain thoughts into their brain, and like other people are kind of like assisting them to like level up into their life where they need to be in order to receive the messages and the downloads that they need from spirit in order to see this in the way that they need to, or like you're on their mind in a very it's like they're thinking about you in this very serious light here. They're having all of these like realizations and downloads that you guys could be like really serious here, like have something really stable. So if your person is the storyteller, the storyteller. Then we have the 9 of Wands and deconsideration for what happened here. So So I'm noticing how this person has like a bandage on their head. And with the Knight of Wands, sometimes it can be about like stopping to like gather strength before continuing on your journey, or could also be this energy of like being really protective and defensive here. So it's like you could have been really hurt in the past. And so it's like what you needed was for someone to come in and help heal this or help fix this. With the deconsideration card, it says something about like a god like kind of struck a curse on people to where they were infertile, and so then it was like someone took it upon themselves to go back up to the bell where the curse was struck and reding the bell in order to undo it. So it's like this energy of like there's some way where you were hurt or damaged in the from the past, and so you needed this other person to go about things in such a way or to do something in such a way in order to like make you trust them or to correct that in some way. It's like you needed to see something from them in order to know that they would help you to like heal and overcome something and move forward and um fully be able to finish it out and like let go of your burdens of the past. But they went about it instead in a way that made you feel like it was going to hurt you even more or like put you in an even worse position, or instead of like helping you to heal this, they were just going to create more damage or more trauma. Like you see them right now as just someone who's kind of like a liar or someone who will like tells you what you want to hear, um makes it seem like they're going to be like so supportive or like all there for you, or like do things differently than other people did in the past. To like tell you these big stories about like how they want to be, or like things they want to do. And so it really makes you feel like, okay, yeah, like this is could be so different than what I've experienced in the past here. Because with the leaf in front of the face, it's like there's certain ways that like you don't want to like really show yourself or reveal yourself to others now because you've been really hurt before. So you needed this person to like show you something in order for you to feel comfortable showing them something. But instead, you feel like they were like all talk and they didn't actually like act the act, or like walk the walk here, like follow through. And they didn't like actually follow through and do something they said they were going to do in order to help make you feel better or to make things better. So you felt like this person was just going to create more damage, cause more trauma, like not consider the ways that you've been hurt or been, yeah, had went through pain in the past. And so then they were just going to like re-hurt it here through just like pure ignorance and choosing not to like really see exactly what happened or what went wrong in order to know exactly how to kind of like undo it or fix it or show you something here to make you trust more. Yeah, you see them as someone who is just trying to like spin a story or tell a tale, or someone who will just kind of like say whatever in the moment. um it's like every time they tell a story it'll be like a little bit different to base to validate or to confirm like whatever they're trying to like say or get across in that moment. um you didn't feel like this person was gonna like help you, or yeah, be like a helpmate to you and like help build you up here and help you like overcome something from the past. You felt like they were going to like, hurt you more, bring more trauma, re-traumatize you somehow, create more damage. Like you felt like you had to be in more fear, like hide away even more, as a result of something here. Oh, yeah, I'm just also hearing like they just didn't really, they were so focused like on themselves and their own image, they didn't like fully consider something here that like you had been through, or like a sensitivity that you had in some way that you felt like you couldn't really show to others. Also, I'm hearing like they could have just went and like told other people like whatever your struggles were, whatever like trauma or whatever you had been through in the past. If you tend to kind of like hide it or keep it to yourself in order, like before, like in order to really trust people before you're fully open with them, it's like they just went and like took it upon themselves to like tell your story. And so that was like not the way that they needed to go about things in order to show you that like you could trust them. It just made you want to like shut down more or like be open even less. It's like you were that less likely to like say anything. It like embarrassed you here. Because they like, yeah, they like spoke your truth or told your story in some way. They like didn't consider like something that you needed from them in order to feel safe. It's like you wanted to be able to speak your truth or tell your story like in your own time whenever you felt safe. You needed to go about it in this specific way here, in order to like feel good about it or redeem something within yourself. But then they just like took it upon themselves to like tell your story for you, and so it made you feel really vulnerable and embarrassed, and like you couldn't trust them, and it like you had to kind of like put your guard up here. It like didn't help you like overcome the cycle and just like put it in the past like they thought it would. It like made you feel really overexposed here. It like made you feel worse about it, or like, yeah, it made you feel like more stuck. So they could be getting a lot of like, someone around them could be helping them to kind of understand here, in combination with the divine, like kind of giving them like this higher perspective to kind of see where they went wrong or where they shouldn't have done certain things. And so now it's like they want to take things more seriously or go about things more seriously. Um, yeah, with this card, it's like they, with the black moon, it's like they want to jump out of um, some sort of darkness here, some sort of confusion or some sort of like ending possibly, and it's like spring forward into something new. It's like they're being given some sort of divine inspiration, so they want to like come in and do things in a better way or like take things more serious. Or there's also someone else is kind of like helping to open up their mind here, their perspective, so then they're more open to what the divine is showing them here about the situation. We have the Eight of Coins, but what I'm getting from this card is like it's crushing them. It's really weighing on them and like weighing them down here. And they feel like pinned down by this here. It's like really crushing them, but they're getting a lot of like positive inspiration from the divine about like how they could kind of like jump out of this, or like how they went wrong here possibly. But it's like yeah, we also have the eye like coming between these two wands here, poking out. It's like they're starting to see through something here and see things in a different light. And it's like now that they're having these realizations, it's like crushing them. It's like it's really killing them to uh, see like maybe how much more weight they like inflicted onto you, instead of helping to lighten your burden and make things easier for you and lighten your load. It's like they added so much more like pressure and expectations and just like weight onto you, and they see how wrong that was, and it's like really crushing them here. But it's like the divine is kind of helping to open up their mind or to see these things here. It's like the divine's like planting these thoughts into their head. um yeah, and there could be someone around them trying to help guide them into like how they could come out of this and like move into a new space here. But I'm getting this like they want to move into a new space with you. We have past life. So yeah, past life could be the reason why you're being drawn to a certain place or thing, or why a certain thing is person is being drawn towards you. You could have like this deep past life connection here. And we also have talisman. So I'm gonna read that for you. The talisman represents new doors opening for you now. New pathways are present at this time. It also invites you to find or create an charge an appropriate symbol, amulet, or mantra to help support your current endeavors or healing. Empower this talisman with your intention to evoke its magic in your everyday life. Meditate with this card to act as a powerful road opener to a new adventure or opportunities, or to discover hidden talismans of power, peace, and love. Okay. One T card here. Ooh, you already know the tea. So yeah, if you're wondering, it's like you already know. If you can kind of sense it, it's like you already know. Like they're thinking about you, you're on their mind. Investigating. So if you feel like they're like creeping on you, stalking on you, like checking on your account on fake profiles, if you feel like they're like low key, like doing some digging into your life, trying to figure out what's going on with you, um, you already know. You could be doing this too, though. Like you could be the one low key trying to investigate or see like what's up or where they're at. Um, but yeah, if you have this inclination or this sense that they're out there creeping on you somehow, or they're trying to like, talk to people around you or figure certain stuff out about you, but then they're trying to be in the dark about this and not let you know, it's like you are already in the know. Definitely trust your gut here. If you've just gotten any weird, like, oh, I think like anything like weird that like has came up that like seems like a little irrational, you're like, well, that's kind of crazy. um yeah, you really could be right. Like you already know what's up. So whatever it is, this is just a general reading. So yeah, that's all I have for pile 3. Thank you so much if you watched this far into the reading, and I hope you have a really, really good day.